yet another ecstatic section. So here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead had already offered his benedictions and well-wishing words to the Pracetas. Now, Pracetas are offering their choicest prayers to the Supreme Lord. So the sequence in which the prayers progress, the texts 22 through 26 is where Pracetas are first glorifying the Lord and offering him their obeisances. And 27 through 32 are the verses where they are describing the precarious conditions of the souls who are trapped in the miserable material world. And therefore, they are pleading for the Supreme Lord's mercy towards those souls. So, and then in the 33rd verse onward, they are going to place a request at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord after expressing their true desire of the heart. So that's the overall map of this section. So in the 21st verse purport, we have seen that Srila Prabhupada compared the Supreme Lord's presence before the Pracetas with Lord Krishna's presence before a pure devotee who is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now, this is a very, very nice way of meditating while we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Srila Prabhupada is writing because the Lord appeared before them naturally, all the contaminations of the material qualities of Rajas and Tamas completely disappeared. Similarly, when an unalloyed devotee chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he is also purified of all material contamination because the name of the Lord and the Lord are identical. So here we find that Lord Vishnu appearing before the Pracetas, and their heart became completely free from all contamination. So likewise, because holy name is non-different from the Supreme Lord, when we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, likewise our hearts are supposed to be becoming completely free from all contaminations of the material qualities. That's what Srila Prabhupada is expressing here. The holy name of the Lord is the Lord himself. If one chants and hears, he becomes purified. Gradually, all material contamination disappears. The Pracetas were already purified due to the Lord's presence before them, and they could therefore offer the proper prayers with folded hands. So whatever prayers are coming from the Pracetas, it is coming from the purest platform, because just in the presence of the Supreme Lord, they do not have any contamination left in the heart. So now with that mood, we can now see and appreciate the beautiful prayers of the Pracetas. So they are saying, "Dear Lord, you relieve all kinds of material distress. Your magnanimous transcendental qualities and holy name are all auspicious. This conclusion is already settled. You can go faster than the speed of mind and words. You cannot be perceived by material senses. Therefore, we therefore offer you respectful obeisances again and again." So after glorifying the qualities, the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord, then they turn their attention to the form of the Supreme Lord. And they are expressing in the 23rd verse. This 23rd and the 24th verse, particularly, I like it because if you analyze the whole situation, the Pracetas meditated on the four-handed form of Lord Vishnu. who appeared was the 800 form of Lord Vishnu. And then in the prayers, they are synthesizing the Guna avatars, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, in the 23rd verse, in terms of how that same Supreme Lord takes on the form of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva for the purpose of creating, maintaining, and annihilating the cosmic manifestation. And then the 24th verse, they synthesize the feature of the Supreme Lord as Lord Shri Krishna, as the Vasudev Krishna. So in this way, typically, like when we hear about the devotees at the pinnacle of their austerities and meditation, meeting the Supreme Lord face to face, usually we hear about the description of Lord Vishnu. But here we are also seeing a perfect synthesis of Lord Vishnu and Lord Krishna, on the non-difference between Lord Krishna and Vishnu is established very nicely. And then therefore we can now relate to the Paribhash Sutra of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which was in the first chapter, 3rd canto, and 28th verse, that Ete Chan Shakala Punsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So we can remember that Paribhash Sutra in this connection and see how that same Krishna is the root of all incarnations. Because Lord Vishnu has appeared, and then they are glorifying that Vishnu as the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. There is something to appreciate here. So they are saying that you have appeared as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva for the creation, maintenance, and destruction of this cosmic manifestation. And obeisances unto you, the independent Lord who incarnates to deliver his devotees from misery. And they're pointing out that you are the Paramatma and the all-pervading Vasudev, or the son of Vasudev. So let's see what Srila Prabhupada writes in the 24th verse purport. So where 24th verse, they are speaking that your Lordship always takes away the devotee's miserable conditions. That's the Hari. That's the meaning of the word Hari. For your brain plans how to do so. You live everywhere as Paramatma. Therefore, you are known as Vasudev. You also accept Vasudev as your father, and you are celebrated by the name Krishna. You're so kind that you always increase the influence of all kinds of devotees. The purport, Srila Prabhupada is writing, in the previous verse, it has been said, Grahita Maya Guna Vigrahaya, that the Lord accepts 3 kinds of bodies, Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva, for the purposes of creating, maintaining, and annihilating the cosmic manifestation. The 3 predominating deities of the material universe, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, are called Guna avatars. There are many kinds of incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the first incarnations within this material world are Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwar, or Shiva. Out of these 3, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva accept material bodies, but Lord Vishnu does not accept a material body. Lord Vishnu is therefore known as Vishuddha Sattva. His existence is completely free from the contamination of the modes of material nature. And then comes a very important reference. One should therefore not think that Lord Vishnu is in the same category with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. The Shastras forbid us to think in this way. Yastu, this verse is very, very important. Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudrari Devate Samatveneva Viksheta Sa Pashandi Bhavet Dhruvam. One who considers Lord Vishnu to be in the same category with Devas like Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva, or who thinks Lord Brahma and Shiva to be equal to Lord Vishnu, is to be considered as Pashandi, a faithless non-believer. Therefore, in this verse, Lord Vishnu is distinguished in the words Namo Vishuddha Sattvaya. So this verse is also very beautiful. Namo Vishuddha Sattvaya, Hare Hari Medhase, Vasudevaya Krishnaya, Prabhave Sarva Sattvatam. So who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? The Supreme Personality of Godhead is also described herein as Vasudevaya Krishnaya. Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all Vishnu expansions are his plenary portions or portions of his plenary portions known as Swaamsha and Kala. So this is again taken from the Paribhash Sutra or Srimad Bhagavatam. The Swamsha or direct expansion is also called Amsha. All Vishnu Tattvas are Swa-ansha, direct parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Krishna is known as Vasudev because he appeared in this material world as the son of Vasudev. Similarly, he is known as Devaki Nandan, Yashoda Nandan, Nanda Nandan, and so on. And then the next part of the purport goes to the relationship that the Supreme Lord shares with his devotees. Again and again, the Lord is very much interested in increasing the influence of his devotees. Therefore, he is described herein as Prabhave Sarva Sattvatam. The Sattvata community is a community of Vaishnavas, pure devotees of the Lord. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has unlimited powers, and he wants to see that his devotees are also entrusted with unlimited powers. Therefore, a devotee of the Lord is always distinguished from all other living entities. And you can see that later on in the purport, Srila Prabhupada quotes the Paribhash Sutra in the end of the purport. So in this way, the Pracetas are glorifying the Supreme Lord as someone who is especially favorably disposed towards his devotees and takes away all miseries from their life. So then, in the 27th verse, Srila Prabhupada explains the appearance of the Supreme Lord in the form of Archa Vigraha to further expand his compassion, particularly to neophyte devotees. The form of the Lord as worshipped in the temples is called Archa Vigraha or Archavatar, the worshipable form, the deity incarnation. This facility is offered to neophyte devotees so that they can see the real form of the Lord face to face and offer their respectful obeisances and sacrifices in the form of Archa. Through such facilities, the neophytes gradually invoke their original Krishna consciousness. Deity worship in the form of temple worship is the most valuable benediction given by the Lord to beginners. All neophytes must therefore engage in the worship of the Lord by keeping the Archa Vigraha or Archa Avatar at home or in the temple. And then Pracetas were praying that, "O my Lord, you kill all inauspiciousness. You show compassion to your poor devotees through your Archa Vigraha expansion." And they were requesting that please consider us as your eternal servants. And they're now pointing out that because you are situated in everyone's heart, therefore you know all the desires of everyone. So the Lord, 29th verse, they're speaking that the Lord knows everything about the living entity, including all his desires. Although we are very significant, why should the Lord not know our desires? So then the question is that what should we ask? Because the Supreme Lord asked the Pracetas to ask for a benediction. And they are now expressing that. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport number 29 talks about the kindness of the Supreme Lord to upon everyone, and especially to his devotees. That whatever a living entity desires, however insignificant he may be, is noted by the Lord, who gives him a chance to fulfill his desires. If the desires of the non-devotees are fulfilled, why not those of the devotees? A pure devotee simply wants to engage in the service of the Lord without material desire. And if he wants this within the core of his heart, where the Lord is situated, and if he is without ulterior motive, why should the Lord not understand? If a sincere devotee renders service to the Lord or to the Archa Vigraha, all his activities prove successful because the Lord is present within his heart and understands his sincerity. Thus, if a devotee with all confidence goes on discharging the prescribed duties of devotional service, he will ultimately attain success. So now, earlier in the eighth verse in this chapter, the Lord expressed his happiness, and he specifically said that you may ask for a benediction from me. And this is Pracetas' response, that you are already residing within our heart and therefore you know everything. So they are saying, O Lord of the universe, you are the actual teacher of the science of devotional service. This is the verse number 30. We are satisfied that your Lordship is the ultimate goal of our lives. And we pray that you will be satisfied with us. That is our benediction. What an amazing statement. We do not desire anything other than your full satisfaction. So what is the point here? The point here is that the Pracetas were already fully satisfied being together with the Lord in the Lord's presence, and they have no more desire left to ask for any further benediction. And just like a bee gets unlimited honey from the Parijata tree, as they have pointed out, a bee can get unlimited honey from the Parijata tree and therefore never leaves that tree. The Pracetas, therefore, having approached and taken shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, just cannot think of any more worthy benediction than the one that they had already received, because the Lord is already with them. And therefore, they're asking that the only thing that we ask for is your full satisfaction. So this is such an amazing way of expressing the desire of the heart. And next we will see there from that pure platform what else they express in the next series of verses. Thank you very much.